Alright, we're doing some plumbing for a friend and for their renovation as a sub, and we need to tie into this cast iron existing drain line out with the new tub and sink and toilet in this new bathroom location here. And so we're going to try to save the male end of this street 45, which is in here to about there, and we're going to try to cut off this straight section of pipe that has the flare end on it down here where the pencil line is, to sort of leave us enough of that diameter down here so that we can put in a combination TY with a little piece of pipe welded in both ends of it, and then we're going to slide one of these Ferncos on each of those little stubs of pipe and slide it on here. And we've sort of laid this out, which is why we have these pencil lines. We can see that if we start here with the rubber off of this piece onto our PVC, and then that PVC is welded into this Y, and then we come down here and our PVC is welded in from here to there, and then we can get on that with the Fernco from here to this diameter here, and we could tighten all those stainless steel band clamps down and we can be tied in with that component. And so we've got to get, the biggest problem we're having, or we're going to have, is to get this flare end off of this street tee, which it's soldered in there. They pack in like a natural fiber, and then they would, in a horizontal, they have a clamp that goes around with a funnel on it, and they'd funnel lead in and let it set up. Obviously vertically you could just put it in there and it would set up like a little dish of lead. So a lot of time and effort put into plumbing this way back in the day, and now we have to be careful because cast iron is tough, but it's also brittle. We don't want to just blast it anything here with a hammer. We'll have it cracked up. So to start with, we're going to use a carbide sawzall blade. You can, this is a Torch brand from Milwaukee. Diablo makes a great one as well, just in a reciprocating saw. And we're going to note where we're cutting, and we're going to cut it right off here and cut it right off there to take that section out and get it out of our way. And then we can operate on this guy to get him slid off of there, and that's going to be a product of, it's going to be a product of drilling that lead out as many times as we can here before we can't get in with the drill gun anymore, melting it out with the MAP gas torch to some degree, wearing a respirator, and then sawing maybe on this and like this and like that and like that, and tearing those pieces off to get sort of down to what's left only, and maybe a little chisel action, and just to be careful. But then we can get over to the tub, and you can use this combination in the horizontal fashion like this. I know it looks like a sanitary T, but it isn't. It's technically a TY. It's got a Y in it to there, and then a 45 to there. And just as we see a Y used here and elsewhere laying down, it's a just as you do, just very common. What this saves us is it does a reduction from 4-inch to 2-inch, which is one component gone, and then it does the Y to 45 all in one, so that's another loose component and another joint that we don't have to put together down here. So this is a nice component for this. And then we'll go from 2 to 1.5 inches to tie into our trap down there. But the major focus of the video is how to get, rather than just how to cut off and remove cast iron, which I've done a lot of, how to disconnect it and leave yourself an existing fitting to work with without disturbing or destroying anything. Because as you can see, if we get into any breakage here, we're going to have a real can of worms to head in both directions and kind of solve it. So let's try and be surgical, and let's have a look at it when we get that far. We'll see you.